ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to NJPW Puroresu Review. I am your co-host, Undersea. Right over here, it's the Taco Princess herself. It's the Melball. How you doing, Melball?
I am doing great, Andre. I had a great day at the gym today, sort of. I destroyed my shoulders. It was nice. Spasming a little bit. Doesn't feel too great, but no pain, no gain, right?
I
How are you
disagree,
doing?
but okay. I disagree. I don't like pain for gains. It's not fun, but I do it anyways. I'm doing
Hey,
okay.
in
Uh,
workouts, you know that's the key, though.
yeah, I worked out yesterday. Didn't work out today. I went out for breakfast with my mom today. We went out had some
Nice.
breakfast. I chauffeured her around to go to a few stores. Just
Mm.
make an easier day on her. And then came home, finished watching Iron Man 2, which I'm reviewing tonight. Or as
Excellent.
it would have been yesterday, as the show's coming out Thursday. I'll be reviewing Wednesday, but as I review it tonight with our boy old Ed, I finished watching that and started watching Thor for next month because I was like, I got in the bug, and then I'm going to watch more wrestling after this. So a good day,
Yay.
good day,
Wrestling.
wrestling. I got a lot of Phantasmo Mania to catch up on. I've got like 3 days of that show to catch up on now.
I think I got two. It's the same.
Yeah, I haven't watched the first one yet. So, yeah, lots of wrestling right now.
Mhm.
There always is. And then as we record this, there's AEW tonight. Lots and lots of wrestling.
So much wrestling.
Wrestling.
Love it, though.
I do. I do. So, we're here to talk about the February 11th new beginning in, I think it's Osaka.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, new beginning in Osaka. Before we do that, I want to thank each and every one of you guys. I want to thank you all for being so supportive of the show. Keep of the YouTube channel, over on SNME, and on Backbreaker Video. I want to thank you all for joining. So if you're watching on the YouTubes, please keep liking the video, subscribing to the channel, commenting down below, sharing us out to your friends, family, strangers, enemies, anamorphic blobs in the multiverse. Just thanks for sharing us out, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can alert every time we drop a new video.
Ding dong.
I don't want any. I have no money.
The time is suspicious. It's 2:22.
Oh, your favorite number, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're listening on SNME Radio, please like the channel, subscribe to the channel, leave some reviews on how you feel about SNME and us. If you don't like us, still give them 5 stars and just rip us apart in the comments, but give them 5 stars. That's what matters. You can rip us apart in the comments, but give them 5 stars.
Him apart. I'm nice.
Yeah, she's the nice one. I'm the one that exists. So,
The one that exists. Andre. Don't sell yourself so short. I'm the short one.
yeah, I know. But yeah, I found this really kind of cool graphic online. I don't know who made it, but they got
Mhm.
the right logos on there. Just a cool looking poster for this show. I really didn't like that.
Mhm.
Kind of setting up the 4 big matches on this show. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, really good graphic work. I don't know who did. I just found it online. But great graphic work there. We're gonna start it off
Mhm.
tag team match, and this one was something. We
That
have
is a
the, as
good
I
way
have
to
dubbed,
say it, yeah.
it's chaos. Yo no, Toriano and Yo.
Yo, no! It's
Ver-
almost like you're saying, "Oh, no."
Yo no, versus the Beast and the Bum, Oleg Bolton and Risuke Taguchi. Uh, don't know what else to call them.
I you know, Beast and the Bun,
Beast
Buns
and
and
the
the
Bum,
Beast. It
Beast,
works.
the Beast and the Bum. You know.
Booty and the Beast.
Oh, that's what. See, this is why you just smart. You're the smart one out of the two of us.
Nay,
Boot.
nay. Nay,
I'm
nay.
literally, I'm literally changing it right now. Booty and the Beast.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
Yeah, Booty and the Beast. They are Booty and the Beast. Like Bolton and
Yes.
Kazuchika. You choose which one is which. Bolton overpowering Yano early. Even when Yo comes in to double team, he takes them both out. And as Chris Charleston named it, hitting the flying body sausage, splashing Yano for 2. He said the flying body sausage. I'm like, what?
It's fair. It's an accurate description, yeah.
He's just a bunch of beef, right?
He
Yano
is.
removing the corner pad, touching Oleg, runs into the corner. Gooch gets in there with the hip attacks and the bulldog out the corner. Gooch pulls the pants down and sits on Yo's face for 2.
I couldn't even with that spot that happened, and I was just like, man, why? That was the most epic level teabag I think I've ever seen anybody just pull out anywhere.
So we get in there. So Oleg comes in to stop Yano from interfering, and he gets him. He starts doing the Shayna Baszler swing, and Gooch decides, I'm going to do that to Yo. So he picks up Yo, gets 1, goes for the second, but his back gives out. And Yo ends up grading him in like a roll-up small package looking thing and steals the win, while Oleg's probably at like 15 or 16 of swinging Yano around.
Yeah. Yeah, he was off in his own little world, just this way and this way and this way and that way.
The
He was
bell
like a
rings.
kid playing with a toy in the corner.
The bell rings and he's still going. That was great.
You know, there's something to be said for showmanship in that, though. I mean, that was pretty impressive.
And then Yo, being the ever sportsman, he's like massaging the lower back of Gooch after the match because he knows Gooch hurt his back. And then they have a young lion. And then they have one of the young lions carry Gooch. They literally piggybacks Gooch to the back.
I mean, the partner should have taken him to the back. It's not like Bolton couldn't. Maybe he was exhausted from yeeting Yano around so much. I don't know.
Very
But
possible.
fun little opener. Got the 2 comedy guys in the opening match, and it was an interesting little story that they told us. They kind of created something funny and fun and exciting to watch without there being any kind of animosity or feud there. So I really enjoyed that about this.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this one. It was just a fun, goofy opener. Not like your match, like kick it off like bam, 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 let's go. It's more like, hey, let's get the crowd into it. Let's get them having fun. Let's get them enjoying the show.
It was more like a wee.
Not a woo. It's a wee.
Yeah.
This was more your woo match.
Yeah.
It's Bishamon's Hiroki Goto and Yoshi-Hashi taking on the United Empire's Cal Newman and the Great Khan, the 2 men exempted from the cage match. Which I don't understand why Khan is not in the cage match, but I get it to a point because he's like one of the OGs. He should be in that cage match.
I agree. Especially, and I understand why Cobb is in there, but with Cobb having the injury, kind of thought that they would make the decision to move him, because given what did end up happening, could have interchangeably been either one, right?
Yeah, and again, you could have Khan and they could have Cobb in here getting to do a little bit less and protect his leg. So again, it's all depending, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, so Yoshi-Armor's armor always looking like shit. His entrance armor.
It looks so. I think I've said it before. It looks like he's a little kid who's playing with a costume that's like 5 sizes too big for him.
You know what it is? It is Yoshi wearing Big Daddy Goto's armor. Is what it is.
Big Daddy Goto, I love it.
Yoshi.
Now I'm just picturing Goto as like a big daddy from BioShock, and like Yoshi-Hashi is one of the little girls sitting on his shoulder.
I didn't even mean that, but okay. Okay, that works. Yoshi's running Khan into the barricade. Goto hip tosses Yoshi onto Newman. They hit the war drums on Khan. Yoshi and Newman trading strikes. Newman hits an enziguri. Sheep Killer final cut by Khan to Yoshi for 2. What the fuck? Oh, Newman. I wrote B-Wan. And I don't know how the heck I got B-Wan. But Newman does a cartwheel dodge out the corner to avoid Yoshi-Hashi. Looked really kind of like just extremely athletic and just looked good coming out the corner. Yoshi gets a Snapdragon to Khan. Newman gets the suplex to Goto, but Yoshi attacks. They hit the final flash. Then they hit Shota on Newman for the win. Again, no surprise here. Like when this match is I'm like Newman's taking the pinfall. There's no surprise.
No, and this one felt a little quick, a little short. I understand why. I mean, we had a very big main event and then a big semi-main event. But I did feel that they gave at least Newman enough time to show off a little bit before the end of the match. And I really like how they've been doing that because with him kind of being the last member brought into United Empire and now Ospreay leaving, it kind of is a good opportunity for him to start showing off why was brought on to the United Empire in the first place. I do like the pairing of him and Khan, though. I feel that something about this pairing just works really well with both of them. Like maybe it's just something like a connection that they have or a friendship that they have. Everything seems to be very fluid with O'Khan and Newman.
Yeah,
that's all I have to say on this guy.
I like O'Khan and Newman together. I think they're a good team. They work well together. I don't see this pairing existing for a long time, but it's a good little pairing. I like it as a experience versus young. Your more experienced guy working with your young lion. I like it.
It almost feels like more training for him.
Well, I'm really liking this faction young lion thing where TMDK claimed their own young lion. These guys, yes, he wasn't part of the young lion system, but they brought him in and said, "This is our young lion." And he's come in as again. His tights are very basic, except he gets a green stripe on the side. He's got the green stripe, so that differentiates him. But they have stated many times he's their young lion. He's a young lion of them. So I'm kind of liking this. We're gonna see some more squads taking on a young lion. I'd like to see it.
I think that would be a great idea.
I really think Kenta, Chase Owens, and Taiji Shimori need to take on their own young lion. Have their own Bullet Club young lion.
Hey, why not? They need someone to carry the bags, right?
One of those little bald kids from the other show, from the last show.
I mean, they could also find someone because that's a very United States-based team.
True.
There's no reason why they couldn't find
Matt Vandegrift. Matt Vandegrift.
I was just gonna say, what is that really cool guy's name in the US right now who's with the Strong brand? That guy. Yeah, Vandegrift. He's getting the scruff back. I don't know if you saw on his Instagram. He's growing that scruff back. It looks tremendous. But yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing him go heel and become the Bullet Club young boy. Frick yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, they're gonna. I just like the fact that these teams are having a young lion and having their young guy. I like that, because it all started with Fujita, and a little bit Oiwa being jealous of Fujita because he wanted to be the TMDK young lion, but he didn't get to be.
No. I think it's because Fujita was the one who did the superior job in pretending to be Zack Sabre Jr.
Oiwa did it too, but I think Fujita did a better job.
That's what I said, superior. Fujita did a superior job with that whole thing because he was actually the one who held it together. Oiwa was a little giggly, a little kind of like, I don't understand what's going on, whereas Fujita was dead serious and just repeating everything back that he said. He was a good boy. Reward was being brought on to TMDK.
There you go. We'll see where Oiwa goes when it comes back from excursion. And we move on to a 10-person tag match, or 8-person tag match. It felt like 10 because just so much bullshit happened.
Yeah.
El Desperado, Shota Umino, Tiger Mask, and Tomo Akiyama taking on House of Torches, Evil, Ren, Narita, Sho, and Yujiro Takahashi with Gato as all, or not Gato, Togo, the Dick, as always.
The other O.
Why does Shota get his own entrance and then all his partners have to come out as a group? I don't understand it.
I've noticed that they kind of do this when someone is challenging for a title, so maybe that's what it has to do with it. But like I have noticed that he particularly gets his own entrance when he is on a team, and I'm not really fond of it either, just because it takes so freaking long.
And then like you look at the champions, they don't do that. Like
No.
most of the champions just come out with their partners, so that, like all as a group. Yeah, even if they're from different factions, they'll just come out as a group. Outside of
Mhm.
Okada, but he's Okada. Okada deserves his own entrance, even in 6-man tags. He's the number one.
Yeah.
You can't deny it. But Shota is not the number one in this company. He's like the number 46 in my opinion. But that might be a little low, more like 26. But like I don't know.
Yeah, no, I also don't like it. Yeah.
Yeah. So House Charger attack for the bells always taking in and out, working over Hanma. Hanma fights back, hits a superplex to Evil. Umino comes in, takes out all the House Torture, but Evil rakes the eyes. But Umino comes back with a tornado DDT. Beautiful exploder by Umino to Show. Tiger suplex into the pin for 2 by Tiger Mask to Show. Then into the Kimura, but it gets broken up. Quadruple attack with the Kokeshi from Team Desperado to Show. Tiger Mask gets a Tiger Bomb for 2, buzzsaw kick, but the ref gets distracted. Show gets a low blow, and Narita hits Tiger with the push-up bar, and Show hits Shock Arrow for the win. Evil, then they get a hold of Shota. He sprays an X on his chest like he's an outcast. If you don't know the reference, but that's a reference to that terrible Soraya shit in AEW from last summer where they were spray painting people with green spray paint. It was terrible. Her and Tony Storm
Oh.
and Ruby Riot. Ugh, terrible. And then Show demands the match on the 23rd be turned into a title match. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. And that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, Something I noticed aesthetically with Show, he's rocking some different contacts now. Makes his eyes look a little lighter.
Mm.
At one point the camera was on him and I was like, are those purple? He almost looks like Momo Watanabe. I
Mm.
liked them. I think he could use the evolution. He could use a little something different. Everyone kind of has a little thing that separates them from their old personality. For Show, it's just always been his gear. He's always been the blonde person, and he was blonde when he was in Chaos as well. Ren Narita got the little lip ring. So it kind of like differentiates themselves. And I kind of liked it. That being said, though, I want to know what the hell is wrong with his face. Like, there's moments in time where it looks like he stepped on something sharp and he's just like making all these crazy freaking facial expressions for no reason whatsoever. It's like when you're like designing something for all those graphic people, if you're designing something and you just have the skeleton and you're pulling it every which way and the faces are just making weird faces, that's what he looks like. But he's a person and making them with actual muscles. I don't understand. He just looks touched in the head.
What?
Um,
Oh, just before you go on, I'm pretty sure he just watches a lot of Willem Dafoe, the guy who played the Green Goblin in the 2002 Spider-Man. That man is one of the
Probably.
most facially expressive actors. He does so many weird
Yeah.
things with his face. I'm pretty sure he studied him because that's what he's doing. He's doing like all the crazy facials like Willem Dafoe does.
But just terribly because it's Show and it's too much. It is way, way too much. He looks just crazy. He looks like a mental patient. It's crazy. That being said, though, I was gonna tell you, did you notice the new name that Shota Ren Narita has now in House of Torture? So everyone's kind of got their little moniker, right? I mean,
King of
Shock
Darkness,
Arrow, King of Darkness, Shock Arrow,
Tokyo Pimp.
Tokyo Pimp, Lil Dick, you know, Red Narita's new one. I saw it pop up and I had to look up and like rewind it because I was like, is
Big
that
Dick.
right?
Big Dick. It goes a little dick.
No, regretfully, no. Sold out, but it's spelled Souled, like your soul.
We already had that pun done in the 90s with the NWO sold out pay-per-view, and it sucked.
Well, let's hope Ren Narita doesn't suck as a result of it. I actually was kind of like, well, that's interesting. Um, Different little name there, but I mean, sort of did both. I mean, he did sell out and go to the bigger profit in Bullet Club, technically. But then, he was arguably the soul of Strong Style, that little faction that he did have with Desperado. So I kind of liked the play on words, but I also kind of had a similar reaction. I was like, why though? You could just be Narita.
Uh,
You don't need the moniker. Anyway,
it's like,
now that Andre's had his little meltdown, um, yeah, the feud going on between Desperado and Show very much on display in this, to a point where like Desperado was beaten down on Show so much that Hamna actually intervened and kind of pulled him off of him and was like, dude, chill out. Like, calm down. I got this. I love Hamna. Just seeing him is a joy. He's so happy. And just, you can't help but smile when you see him. But I had him on my television and I had the volume up, and his yell scared the crap out of my dog. If you know, you know. Um, yeah, the spray paint on Shota's chest, I didn't understand. I also didn't like it. It just, there's no point. It's kind of yucky. We also don't know how long it's going to stay on there. Hopefully that comes off pretty quick. Um, and I loved how Evil immediately ran away like a little bitch. That's what Evil does. Yeah, that's all I got to say on this one.
yeah, I don't got anything else because again, it's a fine match. Don't get me wrong, one of the better House Torture matches I've watched in a long while.
Mm-hmm.
But it's setting up Evil facing Umino, and I'm not excited. I'm really not
Mm-hmm.
excited for that. Yeah, let's move on. We move on. Lij, Bushi, Hiromu Takahashi, Shingo Takagi, Tetsuya Naito, and Yota Tsuji. I gotta try. I have to try with the taking on
Tiki?
taking on just five guys. Duki, Sanada,
You
Taichi,
just called him Dookie.
Doki, Taichi, Takamichi no Ku, and Yuya Uemura. That didn't work. That almost
You
hurt my
sounded
throat.
like a dying cat when you said that one.
Uemura.
It sounded like a cat who had its tail stepped on.
That actually kind of hurt my throat just slightly, just doing the.
See?
But it's fun. Dude, Bushi's entrance mask was dope as fuck. It was like a big purple mask, had this like giant fin going up on top, like so cool.
Mm-hmm. So cool. Love his masks.
LAJ attacked for the bell. Shingo and Taichi going back and forth early. Taka gets just face lock on Bushi, but he gets out. He gets out pretty fast. Bushi sends Taka out and hits a suicide dive. Uemura running wild on Tsuji when they get in there. Hits the backdrop suplex for two. Susie gets the head scissors and big boot to Uemura, or it's a big boot, but Uemura ends up snapping the arm and hits a flatliner to it. But then Suji comes back with his own flatliner. Doki and Hiromu going back and forth. They trade Germans. Hiromu gets a Falcon Arrow for two. Excuse me. Sanada gets Naito in the Paradise Lock, then unlocks it, sending him to the floor and hits him with the plancha. A well done combinacion cabron by Naito, and they get into reversals. LIJ double team them. Just five guys gang up on Bushi. They hit the just five boots for two. Like shit, I literally love where they all just like did a giant 5-person big boot spot to Bushi. It looked really good.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone in and out, taking each other out. Sanada gets the skull end, swing into the skull end to Bushi, and he is forced to tap out. Yeah, like I think it was like 10 minutes, something like that.
Mm-hmm. It was brief. It was good.
Mm-hmm.
It was good because we have had these two teams done to death on this tour, and even before this tour. It's been a hot minute that we've seen these guys feuding, and it's getting harder and harder for them collectively to create new things to entertain us with. This felt was pretty solid though.
Mm-hmm.
As you'd mentioned, Shingo and Taichi getting into it at the beginning, always a treat to see those two go together because they're such a good, impactful, and yet entertaining combination. The tope by Bushi, always so good. Um, yeah, Tsuji and Uemura, it was very heated but very brief. And I kind of like that because it's keeping them apart so that it enables them to be completely creative when they finally have their little hair versus hair match.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Doki blocking that sunset bomb off the apron with a double stomp to the face of Hiromu was great. It wasn't something I think I've seen before,
He
and it
did,
was very, very smart.
he did it on the last show. I remember talking about that because he did that double stomp to the face to block the bomb to the outside. He did that on that show too.
Ah, okay.
But he didn't
Ah,
get to follow it up with his Ase moonsault this time because Hiromu stopped the
correct.
moonsault. Yeah.
Fair, fair. And yeah, the ending of Sanada submitting Bushi, I mean, we kind of knew going into this it would be either Bushi or Taka
Mm-hmm.
at this point. I really do like how it is going back and forth,
Hmm.
where it's like one team picks up a win and then the other team picks up a win. It keeps people kind of like, ooh, who's gonna come out on top on this?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Very much so. So we're gonna move on. I got nothing more to say on that one. To
Mm.
the final singles match in New Japan for Kazuchika Okada. It's Kazuchika Okada taking on his ever rival since he came back from his excursion, Hiroshi Tanahashi. Um, so big Okada chants during the entrance of Okada. Uh, this kind of feels like the most appropriate final singles match for Okada. It's the guy he's gone to war with forever. Okada gets Tana up top and drop kicks him to the floor. Um, Back in the ring, Okada catches the kick of Tanahashi and he hits a dragon screw. Okada's dragon screw. Tana comes back with his own dragon screw, then gets the leg in the rope dragon screw, and sending Okada to the floor. Tanahashi goes up top, hits aces high from the top rope to the floor. Man, your knees are messed up. You shouldn't be doing that shit.
I agree. I agree. Stop that.
Yeah, Okada stops a sling blade attempt with a flapjack. Okada and Tanahashi. Okada gets Tanahashi up and over in the corner, then hits an air raid crash, and then follows it up with a heavy rain, which is his Death Valley driver, which Trish Johnson said we hadn't seen in a while. And he
Mm-mm.
goes up, hits the top rope elbow, sets up a Rainmaker, but Tanahashi reverses into the sling blade. They trade strikes, trading reversals, and Tana gets the Dragon Suplex. Tana gets the Sling Blade for two. He goes up, but Okada gets the knees up on the high fly flow attempt. Okada hits a dropkick, tombstone, but Tana rolls him up on the Rainmaker attempt for two. Okada fights up onto fights Tanahashi up onto his shoulders, hits landslide, then follows it with the Rainmaker to get the win. What a dick. Can't even give Tanahashi the win on his way out. What a dick. No, it was a really good match. Again, this is also isn't his final match, but he
It's a
should
singles match, though, right?
It should be it's his final singles. He really should be going out looking at the lights. I think every wrestler when they leave a territory, give a match to somebody and go out looking at the lights, man. It just I don't know.
I
Personal opinion.
ordinarily I would agree if it wasn't Tanahashi he was facing.
Hmm.
You know how I feel? I love Tanahashi, but especially in the last year, those knees have heavily degraded
Mhm.
and he is struggling. And I love seeing him wrestle, but wrestler to wrestler, I feel Okada right now versus what Tanahashi is right now is a superior wrestler. So I felt that this was, even though I agree with you, normally that's what I would like to see in this situation. It wouldn't make sense for Okada to go on a loss. But also like the sentimentality of this, of these guys going back and forth over the years, like again, it would have been a very, I think, more like very emotional, even more emotional moment, I think, and maybe a little bit in a negative way if
Mhm.
Okada had taken a loss to Tanahashi. Um, that being said, like such a match, such
Yeah,
a match these two had. It was very sentimental to be comparing it to some of their bouts in the past and seeing, especially Tanahashi, as I mentioned, the knees are just oof, but he was still going. He was really picking it up for this match, and I really, really respect that. I don't have a
yeah,
lot to say on this one. I just enjoyed it.
doing a good it was a good one of the better Tanahashi matches I've seen in a while. That's for
100%.
gosh darn sure. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's a question though, like was it the right call? Like there's so many things that you just go maybe not.
Mm. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, again, and this won't be Okada's last match in New Japan. He's got two more. February
Mhm.
23rd and 24th. On the 23rd, he teams up. It's a chaos reunites for one last completely chaos match. It's Hiroki Goto, Kazuchika Okada, Tomohiro Ishii, and Yoshi-Hashi taking on the United Empires, Callum Newman, Francesco Akira, Great Okan, Hanare, and Jeff Cobb. Which sounds like a pretty good 10-man tag, in my opinion, on the 23rd.
Yeah. That'll be the first and last time that Chaos will all be together in a hot minute. Because when was the last time we've seen any of them, like all of them together? They're
Been
certainly
a while.
not, running out and helping each other when they're getting beat down by other people.
Yeah, and then the following night you have Chaos, Goto, Okada, Ishii, and Yoshi-Hashi teaming up with Hiroshi Tanahashi to take on the United Empire. Francesco Akira, Great Okan, Hanare, and Jeff Cobb teaming with Matt Riddle in a 10-man tag match.
No.
Oh yeah, well Tanahashi and Riddle are wrestling on the 23rd, so that's why Riddle's in tagging with the United Empire. He's not listed as an Empire member. He's just teaming up with them because he's boys with Jeff Cobb. Yeah.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna say we got a lot of already capable people in United Empire. I
Yep.
don't want to see somebody new come in and try to assert leadership.
Oh God,
That being
please.
said, I guess that would be okay. Yeah.
Riddle is
It
not a
makes
leader.
sense. It makes sense with Tanahashi and him feuding that he would need a team, but like
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure House of Torture's available, my guy.
But if Riddle becomes the leader of the Empire, I might have to take that banner down. I'm sorry. I
Bold words.
if he joins Empire, I might have to take it down order a TMDK and replace it with a TMDK flag because no, I think Riddle's fine, but I don't want him in the Empire. No, just no. We'll preview the February 23rd and 24th at the end of this show. I have the cards up ready to go. We'll do them up really quickly. But yeah, so we'll talk about those at the end here. We move on. It is the IWGP Tag Team title match. This is the Guerrillas of Destiny, El Phantasmo Hikuleo, with Jado taking on Bullet Club's Chase Owens and Kenta with Taichi Ishimori. So this is a rematch from the title match they had in January for the Strong titles, but it's the IWGP titles on the line this time. Bullet Club run Hikuleo out early. They double team ELP, but Hikuleo comes back in to take over. God take out Kenta. They double team Chase with splashes in the corner. Sidewalk slam into the elbow drop. ELP hits the assisted rope walk moonsault to Kenta and Owens on the floor. Excuse me. Kenta runs ELP into the corner face first, goes to work on him, axe handle off the apron to the floor, runs him into the barricade. ELP just a lot of back and forth with the Bullet Club members, him getting double team over and over again. Chase hits kicks, hits the spinning forearm to Hikuleo, but Hikuleo reverses a suplex. Power slam by Hikuleo and the swanton by ELP into the springboard moonsault on Chase Owens for 2. Snap sunset flip by Chase Owens to ELP into the corner. It looked pretty rough. Head just went smashing into the corner. Hesitation drop kick in the corner by Kenta and the top rope stomp. And then the gut check by Chase Owens for 2. Kenta uses the ref to stop the guts and choke slam and hits the chop block to the knee. Palm strikes to Hikuleo. He lifts him up on his shoulders for GTS, but Hikuleo gets out, hits that snap power slam. Sudden death is hit into the guts and choke slam. They followed up with the assisted Thunder Kiss 86, but Chase Owens pulls the ref to the floor. What a dick. Chase hits the C trigger to the ref on the floor. That's what Chris Charlton said. He C triggered the ref. Ishimori hits ELP with the tag belt. They low blow Hikuleo when he's going for the Godsend chokeslam to Ishimori. And then Kenta stacks Hikuleo. And Chase tosses the ref back in, who he just C-triggered. And the ref counted the pin. My biggest issue is not with Bullet Club winning the titles. Because, hey, great. Chase Owens and Kenta are the champions. My biggest issue is when the ref came to, why didn't he disqualify Chase Owens for attacking him?
I didn't recall seeing the C trigger. I just saw the ref get yeeted.
Charlton
I know I
literally said,
heard it.
but yeah, that's what I'm saying. If he did C trigger him, why didn't he get the accused for? Logic does not apply to professional wrestling.
Well, especially not the referees in Japan. They kind of remind me of Stew. Here. Stew. Yeah, I felt that. Well, let me check my notes. What did I take here? Moonsault from ELP to the outside was great. He has some really good height on there. I don't know how kicking trees during COVID helped that, but was what that was. What's this about the ending? I liked it. It was. I know the thing with the ref didn't make sense, but ignoring that specific detail of it, them pulling the ref out, Ishimori running in there, hitting him with the titles, I'm doing some shady shit, getting the champions into a, we'll say, compromising position, and then Chase throwing the ref back in there. That is classic OG Bullet Club shenanigans. And those are the classic good shenanigans that we like to see. Not this House of Torture bullshit, this shit. So where it did separate the titles, which I think should have happened anyway. We both agreed to that. I think the story that was told in here worked out pretty good. And the pull-off and the journey to get there was also equally really good. It is interesting to me that they did get the IWGP titles off of ELP, off of God, and onto
more Americans. Because
Yeah.
Kenta lives in America. So does Chase. So it's not like they're not both going to head back home for a little bit. So the titles get pulled off the road either way.
Yeah, like I follow Chase on Instagram. He was in the gym already this morning, like working out on jet lag. So like yeah. And I like this because it means that there's potential for them to be challenging more here for it, which is more free marketing and advertising for NJPW,
Mm-hmm.
which will get them more attention, which will get these guys more attention. All around, I think this was a very good decision. And I actually, for the fluidity of the match, Chase and Kenta were just on top of things, very united. And with Ishimori in there, I really liked seeing this. I guess we'll call it a fracture Bullet Club. Like, are they just Bullet Club right now? They don't have their own moniker, do they? They're just
No,
Bullet Club.
these guys are just like Bullet Club, like just straight OG Bullet Club. That's what they are.
I like it. I dig it. I think this is a good direction for them to take it.
Yeah,
That's all I got.
yeah. It's just an interesting way to take it, and I'm looking
Mhm.
forward to seeing what Kenta and Chase, because we haven't had a like heel champs in a long like. When was the last time we had heel champs? Because like
Bullet Club War Dogs during the summer.
yeah, but they were they were strong champs though. Like, but I'm saying for the actual
Yeah.
IWGP tag, were they didn't have the IWGP titles, did they? No, they won the
No,
strong titles off of Goto and
correct.
Yoshi. So like for the IWGP titles though, other than War Dogs with the junior titles, we haven't seen heel champs in these titles, because before Goto
Might be a
and
question for Bobby Stats.
before Goto and Yoshi, it was Aussie Open. Before that, it was them again, the Yoshi and Goto, and then before that, it was pretty sure it was FTR. So there hasn't been really heel champions in a long time.
It's true. It's true. We
People
need
that
to
could
see that
play heel,
variety.
people that could play heel when they needed to in FTR and Aussie Open, but otherwise no. It was interesting. And Chase says
It is
he's a
interesting.
so Chase says to Chris, he's a two-time champion, and Chris says two-time, and Chase goes, what? And he goes, two-time again, and Chase goes, Chris, you can count. It's like such a dick.
Them
Oh,
Texans.
them Texans, such dickheads to the British.
It's because they're funny accents. They make fun of their funny accent.
We're gonna move on. It's gonna be the 7 main event evening, and I'm gonna flat out say here, for the next two matches, I'm not doing my full on recap, because this match was over 30 minutes. The match after this was over 60 minutes. I'm not going in to do recaps like this. We're just gonna have a conversation about these next two matches, because goddamn, were these two matches some of the best professional wrestling in from two completely different sides that I've watched in so long. It's just so good, so good. Like Danielson and Sabre. Sabre's with Kosa Fujita. Goddamn, like the gear. Starts out, Sabre's new white gear looked just crisp on him, and Bryan with his new black gear that has like a chain designed on it. Look, and this isn't a guy that's gone for flashier looking gear in his past, and this one looked phenomenal. Like both these guys in
Mhm,
their gear looking great.
What I also wanted to note with Zack Sabre Jr. real quick, he's also rocking a tan a lot more, which is not something we've always seen him do. But what I really like is that no, it's a natural tan.
I know.
It is a natural tan. He looks brown, not orange. And
Mhm.
that the lighting in Japan, for whatever reason, you can really tell if someone's spray tanned or if someone's not. But also his white gear, zero transfer.
It's true.
So good. You don't end up with weird stains in weird places for no reason.
Yeah. So this like was a pure technical wrestling match. Like for the
Mhm,
most up until the end. It was these guys transitioning, going for submissions, going to work the arms and the knees, and the like Sabre Bryan really working over the arm, and then goes to work on the knee. Sabre working on everything. Again, it was very much a technical back and forth. Each guy going for these crazy looking submissions. Sabre busting out the old Clarky cat. I haven't seen that in a while. I was so excited. But then Bryan at one point got his own Clarky cat on Sabre. I was like, oh man. I don't know. It's just really, it was the technical wrestling that these two do were awesome. Then at one point they start trading strikes and kicks. Bryan gets that the buzzsaw kick too. He does his yes kicks. It looked like just looking great, man. Like as they went, it was just tremendous wrestling, like traditional style wrestling, and I loved it. I know you weren't a fan of this wrestling a few years back, and you took you a while just with Sabre. Did this like is this bringing you more into the Bryan Danielson fan club with what he's doing here with Sabre?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, because it's like it's fun to see opposite styles go at it for sure. We saw that with Zack Sabre Jr. and Jeff Cobb. But to see the two of them going against each other when they're so knowledgeable of each other's moves, that's a very different styling of match than we would get with someone like Jeff Cobb, because as you said, it was just almost like a series of reversals. Every time someone cinched something in, it was just a matter of time of, oh, when is this person escaping from this kind of thing? When are they going to reverse it? When are they going to what opening are they going to take? We see none, but they, as a technician, say multiple. So yeah, I really did enjoy that aspect of it because it was a very intelligent match. It wasn't one of those high speed ones where you were going like, ooh, ah, at like whatever the crazy aerial or power move was. You were going, ooh, ah, at how they were able to roll around and finally stop, and that person was able to figure out how to overpower the other one for even for a few seconds. The crowd was super appreciative of this match too. The noise for it was just incredible, especially when they would do something really, really neat. You would just hear that just triumph of claps coming from in the stadium. I really appreciate how the Japanese
Oh,
crowd appreciates the wrestling.
I swear to God, there was one American or non-Japanese fan in the crowd because I heard a "Oh, Zack Sabre Jr." at
Several
one.
times, yes.
Yes,
I
but
heard that also, and it was like it wasn't just one, there was a couple, but I
yeah.
don't think they were English. If you listen to them a little closer, because I turned it up, they distinctly have a Japanese accent.
Oh, okay. I just heard "Oh, Zack Sabre Jr.," which you don't hear out of Japanese crowds. You hear about a North American and out of British crowds. So I assumed it was
Absolutely.
a non-Japanese person.
I did as well, but when you turn it up, you can hear the accent.
Yeah,
You can hear the words said just slightly different, and, that made me happy.
yeah.
Because it means that whatever he does, they're following him where he goes, which means they pick that up probably watching something like AEW or Rev Pro, which is great because 'cause they're watching more wrestling, and wrestling is awesome.
Okay, so I'm just gonna get into the end, the last couple few minutes of this match,
Please,
just to
yeah.
go over this. So we at least can give you the ending. Great hammer and anvil elbows by Bryan. Then he turns it into the cattle mutilation. But Sabre immediately knows how to get out of this. He gets out, hits a German, hits a Zack driver, and gets a 2 count. And this is where Charlton was like, "Whoa, what the hell just happened?" Because after their match at Wrestle Dream, Sabre was bitching at Bryan for not beating him with a submission. So for Sabre to go for a pinfall win was Charlton going, what is he doing? Like he was surprised by this. And they're going back and forth with the PKs, the strikes. Bryan gets pulls a triangle, or Sabre tries to pull a triangle, but Bryan fights out, just raining down strikes. He gets those arm trap stomps. That's where he's transitioning into. He does his own Clarky Cat, then into an arm trap half crab where he's got like the half crab, but he's also got one arm trapped. It looks so good. But Sabre gets to the ropes, and Sabre didn't go to the ropes a lot with submissions. He worked his way out. This is one of the first, I think, one of the couple times he had to actually go to the ropes to get out of a sub. Bryan's hitting the yes kicks. 30 minutes is called. Sabre's calling. and wanting more. Sabre fires up as he's getting hit, and he gets an O'Connor roll. They keep reversing each other into 2 counts. Then Sabre rolls through and falls, hits him with the PK. Bryan flips Zack over his back with into a backside flip over, and then runs at him, hits the Psycho knee. Bryan goes for the pin, but then they're trading pinfalls back and forth, and Sabre catches Bryan at 32 minutes and 46 seconds with a crucifix hold, gets the shoulders down. 1, 2, 3. Zack Sabre Jr. pins Bryan Danielson in an incredible match.
Mm-hmm. This was so good. So good. The ending surprised me also. I mean, I know he wanted to do the submission, but I think at that point in time, both these men knew that submission was not possible. I would like to see maybe a showdown where these guys have, a little bit more. I don't want to say more time because goodness, they were exhausted as it was, but a submission only match might be what they need as that final pop off to get that bragging right of best technical wrestler.
Yeah, and again, so I'll go. Look, Sabre offers a hand. Bryan refuses, but he comes back, shakes Sabre's hand, raises his arm. As Sabre's leaving the ring, Chris says he said, "Okada, I'm coming for you, dickhead." And I'm like, he's leaving. What the hell? So we're gonna get a Sabre versus Okada match over in AEW. I'm down. Don't get me wrong, I'm down.
Wow.
But yeah, the post match comments from Bryan. He actually wants. He says any promotion that wants to put on a 2 out of 3 falls match between me and Zack Sabre Jr., let's go. So I have a feeling we're not. There's a possibility we don't get the third in either New Japan or AEW. The way that Bryan's talking about it, I feel like this could be a Rev Pro, or just another, or a CMLL, something. I think because then you go into that match because yes, Bryan won the AEW home his match at home in AEW. Sabre wins at home in New Japan. So where do you go? Is it a Rev Pro? It's CMLL. I think is best one because neither man has the home field advantage in CMLL. But
it's true.
You could do something of that sort. I do expect it to be in either New Japan or AEW when they face off. And doing the 2 or 3 falls, you can do it with like 3 stages of hell style, where first match can be something, second match can be something, and then the final match is that submission match. So when they get to the third, the final guy has to tap the other out. You could always put a stipulation on each match, or just do the first 2 falls as normal, and then the third can be the submission. And if they get to third,
I think that'd be smart. Yeah.
Again,
we're on to something, Andre.
Let's go. Top Town Pro Wrestling. Book this match. Book this match. Book this match.
Could you imagine? My God.
I could then just go die afterwards.
We wouldn't make it up the building.
No. After
don't die until after you drop me off.
No, I can't die until May when I finally get to see Ospreay at AEW. That's when I'll die.
And
Mariah May.
There you go.
But Ospreay's who I really wanted to see so badly at that show. He's on the poster. He better be at the show.
Oh, don't they do they still do meet and greets and stuff before the show? I don't think that. I feel like Ospreay is, but there's a chance.
Oh man, I would love it. But yeah, you got anything else on this one?
No.
All right, we're gonna move on. Yep, yeah. So we're gonna move on. Main event of the evening. It is a 10-man dog pound gauntlet steel cage match. So this cage was about as high as the ring, but it was set up on the floor around the ring, like Hell in a Cell style, but it doesn't go above the ring. It's more just to kind of contain them in once it starts, and even once it gets all men out there. Even that didn't happen because Gato opened the cage at one point. by God, holy shit, was this was bloody, but even in its bloodiness, it didn't turn me off like a Jun Kasai or anything. Like they didn't do that kind of blood. They did like they hit somebody with a chair and it opened them up, or it did something, but they didn't do like the skewers. They didn't do anything like overly gross in this.
The fork part was not
Okay, yeah,
exceptionally my favorite.
yeah,
Um,
because Drilla at one point gets the fork and he's forking people, but then Akira gets a hold of the fork and he goes insane with that fork because he's fighting back
yeah,
because Drilla's been forking him over and over again, and so he's just like ah, and he just start forking him just like literally like he's murdering the guy, but like like I was just like, oh, okay.
yeah,
But that was the only part of the match that like bothered me in any sense, really, other than like the fork spot. Everything else was like table spots, brawling, chair shots, stuff like that. There was a couple like Ospreay took a couple chair shots right to his dome that I
the
didn't
latter.
care. Oh, but again, that's a spot that like Bubba Ray popularized back in the late '90s in the TLC matches because he would
Yeah,
just put it on his head and start spinning. But Kid was like spinning super fast, and it was a little bit dangerous.
very much. And like I think Osprey walked into it twice.
Yeah,
TJP once. I think
yeah,
Cobb walked into it once as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Osprey actually
Anyway,
his wife was at ringside for this.
yeah. I
He gave
mean,
her.
she's a wrestler too, though.
Is she?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know
isn't
that.
she? I thought she
I
was.
the way they explained it, talked about her, the way he talked about her and stuff, that she got back in the ring. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure.
I'm fairly certain. I'll have to double check, but I'm fairly certain she's also a wrestler. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, it's again gauntlet style. Osprey and Finley started it. The most appropriate people to start this match, and then other guys just came in as it went. War Dogs did have the advantage in this, but dude, it was just TJP became the
Wait.
Oswang.
Start about the beginning because Osprey demanded 10 minutes
Yeah,
instead of the 90, and then Finley refused, but did give him 5.
5. Well, it was supposed to be 2 minutes between each entrant, and yeah, Osprey wanted 10 minutes with Finley in the cage. He agreed to 5, so which was
Mhm.
fine. Yeah, TJ
We
was
had that was the semblance of a normal match that we got in this match.
yeah. So Drilla come out. And they were beating him up. The next one out was I want to say Hanare was out
And Drilla
next.
brought out Newman with him.
Yeah, he dragged Newman to ringside and like locked him to the cage.
Mhm.
Hanare was out next. Then I
Mhm.
think it was Connors comes out. He has a bunch of weapons coming in, or he's didn't he bring
His
in?
arm his arm was
Yeah,
wrapped in barbed wire.
he had the barbed wire arm, and then out comes I think it was TJP next.
Correct.
TJP was next. Then out comes
And he wrapped barbed wire around his foot
yeah, and so
and
what?
did the face wash
Oh, I felt
to
so
Clark
bad for
Connors.
Connor. Oh, I was like, oh, gross, gross. But it did like he did it in a way that it didn't look like he killed him with it in his face, but it looked brutal. It
It
was
cut him open pretty good still, though.
yeah, and then we had Coughlin come out, walking out with his arms outstretched. He has like
A dozen chairs per
just
arm.
just walking out, brings them all down, brings all these chairs into the match, and this is where everybody just started. All the chairs just became part of this match.
Mhm.
It was gross. Osprey gets cut
That was
open.
where, TJP got buried under all of those chairs, and they yeeted Hanare onto him, and TJP disappeared.
Well, he crawled under the ring.
Yeah, he
'Cause
crawled under the ring, and we didn't see him for a bit.
yeah. So and then out comes so out so
This was also where Hanare got busted open, wasn't it?
yes, I think so. And Osprey's just pouring blood at this point.
I'm
Uh
sorry, Akira was next.
yeah, Kira comes out next. Um he climbs the cage, dives onto all the war dogs, hitting everybody with a kendo stick.
Yeah, remember he tricked them all, remember?
Mhm.
Because they were waiting for him facing the front, and he snuck around the back, came up behind them, and then jumped on them. It was fantastic.
And then he kicks Finley in the dick.
Yes. We didn't get to
Oh,
see Rick Jules kick Shawn Martins in the dick a little while ago, but we saw Finley get his dick kicked. That was
yeah.
great.
I'm so happy with that. Gabe Kidd's final
Mhm.
entrance for the War Dogs. He has a cart full of plunder, bringing everything out that he could possibly bring out. Cobb comes out as final member for UE. Just going around, just beating the shit out of people. Belly to belly Kid. Slams Connor on the apron. Trading strike with Coggin in the ring. Hits a drop kick, release belly to belly. He takes a kendo stick from Finley and just absorbs it, and then just picks him up at 5,000, just tossing Finley. It was so good, man.
Yeet. Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful sky twister by Ospreay to Coggin at one point. Dude, it's just crazy, man. This
Chaos.
absolute chaos, man. Then he put up a ladder in between the cage and the apron, which would come back a little later in the match.
Mhm.
Oswang TJP comes out and he's hitting the spray, just hitting moves on everybody. Hits a trio bullet stomp to Drilla for 2. Leaning Tower gets stopped. I was so pissed.
Mhm.
Off with it. But like, there's so much that's happening. Thumbtacks get brought in, and they were very
Well,
smart. But no, I respect the way they did it because they brought a board in that had like raised edges, and they put them in there, like almost like a picture frame raised. So
yeah.
when the spot was gross. Don't get me wrong, but
Hmm.
they contained the tacks from getting everywhere, which was kind of smart.
I mean, yeah, but like, did we have to like drop Connors on it, flip him on it, then drop him on it again? It was a lot. It
Mm-hmm.
was a lot. And there was a
Oh
lot, and he rolled at one point too, so that he was just everywhere in this poor guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is where Jola gets the forks out because he brought a thing of forks down with him that went across
Sash.
his chest and put it under the ring. So he forks Ospreay. Kid pile drives Ospreay through the ladder that they had set up between the apron and the cage, and it just looked brutal as fuck.
Mm.
Drilla forks Akira, but he fights back, and he's coming over his fear of the fork and starts just forking the hell out of Drilla. It's just crazy shit, man.
Mhm.
Uh, just they pile up the chairs. Finley and Kid hit the double team pile driver to TJP into the chairs. Then this is where they start ripping the ring apart, and this is where the match got scary.
Uh-huh.
Not for the fact, because like you land on wood's like landing on the floor. Don't get me wrong. It's because the way they Japanese have the ring. So I like from my experience with RCW and watching the PWA rings getting set up, PWA's boards and I think it's also MPW's boards go all the way across the ring,
Mhm.
and RCW is plywood put in certain ways on top of the board, but they're not going to pop up on you if you took the thing up because I've walked across those boards no problem.
Mhm.
They cut their long. They have the long skinny boards across, but they popping up halfway through, and people were like, Akira almost broke his fucking leg falling through.
Yeah.
Like it was sketchy. Like that was
Mhm.
sketchy as shit. Um,
It was very uncomfortable to watch, yeah.
yeah. Finley and Akira are fighting, but Akira hits a DDT, but the pin gets broken up by Coggin. Akira falls through the ring literally when he's attacking Coggin. That's where I thought he almost broke his leg. Coggin stops the run off the top, and him and Kid hit the hijack pile driver. This is where Ospreay crawls over to Akira and starts pulling him away from the assault. And like the War Dogs all kind of stand over Akira and Ospreay just pushes Akira to the floor. And Ospreay and like Finley gets on his knees and is like, "Come on, I'll give you one shot." And Ospreay goes through the blade, but he kind of just collapses from all the blood loss. So Connor spears him when he gets brought up. Barbed wire knee wrapped on and Finley hits the underkill with the knee to the head there, and Finley gets the win. Like
Mhm.
60. I gotta scroll up to get the number. 64 minutes and 5 seconds, according to Cage Match. And the War Dogs get the win. Like, incredible match. And I think you got this team that much more over. And again, Ospreay goes out looking at the lights, man. I respect him for it, man. Unlike
Well, because like the difference between like Finley and Ospreay versus Okada and Tanahashi is like right now, both Finley and Ospreay are in their prime. Whereas Okada is still in his prime and Tanahashi is on the tail end of his. But I have a few things I just wanted to add into this. There was a lot of dirty tactics in this by Bullet Club, obviously. What I did like is before the door was closed, how they were going out and bringing wifey, Ospreay's wife, into this. Before I go any further, actually, I wanted to comment on Ospreay's gear. It might just be me and my love of this man, but like Ospreay's gear was giving me Masawa vibes. Really, really enjoyed that.
I feel like it was a tribute to like Japanese wrestlers of the past. He's done that. He did that with the Hayabusa gear a while ago. He did that, and I think he did that here. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, getting into Wifey's face, involving her a little bit, it helped Ospreay get even more into the match as well. Also, just with this picture, I like this gear on Coughlin. He looked great. I don't like the pants that or the shorts that he usually wears, and like the dumb boots that he usually wears. This was a freaking banger outfit for him. Put him in more shit like this.
And even I think Coughlin, I just think he needs to get away from the shorts. I think he needs to go to long tights. I think it would suit it. But do his long tights in this like camo color. I think it would look great. Or just let him roll in let him roll in this all the time.
Him and Kid, I mean, Kid is called war ready. He looked like it. He looked like he was in the military. Why can't that be, they're Bullet Club War Dogs, but these are the war ready boys. Because, like, he looked good in the camo, too. Hanare, when he came out, he was just plowing through everybody. I loved it. But there was one point when after he received his helmet to help him get through the match, I don't know if you got the same thing, but I felt there was points in time where like he wasn't all there. There was one point where he was actually interacting with Kid, and it was like right at the end of the match when it was starting to wind down, and he's throwing hands with Kid, and he ends up, it was right after the chair spot where he put his hand through the chair and then put Kid's head through the chair and then biffed Kid in the face. I'm sure Kid went out. His hands dropped, he fell down, and I actually saw his hand come up to kind of like, okay, that's enough for now. Back off Hanare a little bit, and that is not something we see happen with Kid unless it's an emergency. So that being said, maybe Hanare should have not been like removed, but like put down to the side for a little bit to kind of recover himself, because he looked like the Walking Dead at one point. It did not look like he was coherent enough to be wrestling the match.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Where am I? Okay, the body slam, bloody from the wire. Everyone's bloody. Akira. I'm trying to go through everything. Oh, the pinata spot, or at least what I call the pinata spot, where Coughlin hands the two kendo sticks to Akira and TJP and just sits there and just strongmans it and just takes the beating. So good.
So good.
He barely changed his facial expressions until the last couple.
Does he have
those things?
I thought he only had one facial expression.
I mean, yeah, it's crazy eyes. But he didn't react into the last couple of hits from these guys, at which point he grabs them and they super kick partied him in the face. But it was a really great spot because, like, he's literally just sitting there taking shots and not just in the same place. These guys are rotating around him and hitting him on the back, hitting him on the leg, hitting him on the arms, hitting him on the stomach. Like, he's getting hit multiple places and he's just absorbing it.
Mhm. That was
It was
crazy.
cool.
That was
Yeah.
it was a really cool spot to witness a guy just getting his ass kicked like that
Yeah.
and not going down.
Right? Like, he gave them nothing and it was phenomenal. Um, let's see here. Okay. Oh yeah, I loved how Gabe Kidd came out with like a trolley of just shit to attack people with. It was very reminiscent of some of like the old WWE hardcore matches. Um, let's see here. I really liked when Akira got in and started laying waste to Finley. Because like he's got some pent up rage, that little one. He needs to let it out.
Mhm.
There was one point where Scott Connors speared Akira through one of the tables. It looked frickin' brutal, but it didn't break. Why are these tables not breaking? I don't
Oh,
know.
when he speared the table,
Yeah.
dude, and there was like an indent of his head in the table. Oh my
Yeah.
god! Oh, that looks so bad. I'm like, oh god, I hope his neck's okay.
I thought the same thing because I think it was close to that frame. So I was a little weirded out by that. There was one point when Akira, or not Akira, Kid was pulling the ladder that they set up there out from underneath the ring. Um, Coughlin not paying attention to his surroundings, he almost got smashed in the face by his own partner. Bring awareness, boys. Open the eyes. Um, there was another spear, but I didn't write down by to who by Connors that looked absolutely brutal. Um, there was a handspring springboard into the ladder done by Will Ospreay to take out Ken Maloney while the ladder was still in the ring. That looked really, really great. Um, I appreciated the costume change that TJP did, going from TJP into the Aswang. It was scary, it was awesome, but I love the character change as well. Like, it's still TJP, he's still doing TJP things, but he's like creepy TJP, and I like it because this is Halloween. Um, there was one
This
point where the
is
team
Halloween. This is Halloween.
anyway, um, there was one point right before they started ripping apart the ring where the teams kind of separated into their respective corners. Bullet Club on like the more right side of the screen, United Empire more on the left. And then they just ran in and just started beating the hell out of each other. It was a really great angle and little break for the crowd in this bout because, as you mentioned, it was over an hour long match. So this was like a nice little breather right before they kind of went into that big blowout at the end there. Um, the Oz cutter attempts that Finley turned into the stunner was fucking cool. Loved that.
Yeah, he calls it the
Um,
prima nocta. Yeah, I fucking love
Nocta, I like
it.
that.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that.
the dual loss cutters that Osprey and Newman did together to Coughlin and Gato.
Oh yeah.
I loved it.
Speaking of
And
Gato, okay.
it's almost like he's handing the move to the kid in a sense. He's still going to use it, but he's like, "Here, kid, you can use the move now." Like that's what it feels like.
Yeah, a little passing of the torch.
Yeah.
That I don't recall what happened to these guys at the rest of the match, but I did notice O'Kong came down and freed Newman from Gato, or after
Mhm.
Gato had brought down the table wrapped in the barbed wire. And then
Mhm.
the pile driver from Kid was just oh
Yeah, it's
brutal.
gross. That was gross.
That's all I got.
Yeah, dude. Like, I'm not usually a fan of hardcore, but this match was absolutely just killer.
Mhm.
Again, it had such a good. Like, if you just want a hardcore match for hardcore's sake, I don't want to watch it. But they had been building the story for months and months and months, getting this set up to have these two factions face out in couldn't just be a 10-man tag. It had to be something that could contain the carnage and just let them just beat the living holy piss out of each other. And it happened. And it was glorious, glorious chaos.
It was. If you look up the definition of glorious, glorious chaos, it will be this match.
It will be. Or something Oedo Tai.
Yeah. Very, very much so. Good call. Good call.
So yeah, so after the match, we get comments from Ospreay. He talks about it in the ring. He says, I promise you all, I swear to this, I promise I will come back one day. Please do not forget me, because I will never forget any of you guys. I love you guys so fucking much. I'm ready to show the world what New Japan Pro Wrestling has produced. I am the man I am today because all of you. I promise I will come back. That's what he said in the ring, along with good love he gave to his boys. Backstage, he says, I signed my deal with AEW. I'm allowed to come back and do New Japan matches, but I don't know when that's going to be. I need to find a balance first, because I have no idea what I'm doing right now. I'm scared for this next jump. I've had anxiety traveling to America. It's not that I don't enjoy it. It's just I get scared, and I've always done this on my own. I promise you, I'm fucking everything that I am as a man. I will be back. I promise you all, I will be back. I love you guys. I love who I am. I love who I've become because of Japan. It just, and he says, I am honored. And he says, I am honored, and I am proud to say that I am a product of New Japan Pro Wrestling. It will stay with me until the day that I die. This feeling, this adrenaline, learning how to fight with you guys, to be next to all of you guys. I love you. It's incredible. Again, and he's got one more indie match on February 18th with Michael Oku at Rev Pro. And then if Dave Meltzer is to be believed, and he's usually pretty good, he's going to be wrestling at Revolution on March 3rd. It's the 3rd. March 3rd. So he could be I don't see him showing up on tonight's AEW, being that he's going to be in England on the 18th. He's probably going to fly home to England, enjoy a week off before he goes and wrestles Oku. But I could see him being on the 21st and the 28th episodes of Dynamite, and the 24th and the second episodes of Collision, to set up his Revolution matches, like just to see what it's going to be.
Oh.
I'm sad to see him go, but I'll still be able to watch him. So yeah,
You'll just have to help him Melball with that.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's just like it hurts your heart to see him say goodbye like that. Because again, I've been a fan of him since he came to New Japan, and I got to watch him do that Ricochet match, which a lot of people shit on because it was a video game match, but I enjoyed the hell out of it, and that's what made me a fan of this man. That helped make me a fan of this guy. And just he's gotten better and better every time I've seen him. So
his feud with Hiromu Takahashi, so good. That was where the I am not a cat thing came from with him, because Hiromu was calling him a cat.
Oh, I am not a cat. I am not a cat.
Oh.
Sorry, I didn't mean for that to pop up quite yet. I apologize. Yeah, we're going to talk about the other New Beginning events at the end, but finish what you're saying about Ospreay.
No, I'm good.
Okay, so we're going to go over the first one, then I'll switch it to so this is the 23rd. We have a Frontier Zone match. Toriano and Tomoya taking on Shoma Kato and Tomoaki Honma. These were the question marks that we didn't know about. So this would be your kickoff match for the kickoff show. It's Frontier Zone.
Look how proud he looks. Little bald head. I love it.
Little bald head. Then your first match of the night, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Yuji Nagata. I think that's going to be an incredible match. And Nagata has the advantage going in because he's the one that has beaten Sabre before. That's interesting.
Oh, that is interesting.
Your second match of the night is Boltin Oleg, Togi Makabe, and Ryusuke Taguchi taking on the House of Torture, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, Yujiro Takahashi, and Ren Narita. And the
Ren
sold
Narita
out
smiling is like Nate Meyer fuel.
It's creepy. I feel like
It
he's
is.
like,
It's nightmare fuel.
yeah, just creepy. Third match of the main show, Chaos. This is the one we talked about
Mm,
earlier. It's the United Empire versus Chaos. Like, it just faction on faction warfare. I like it.
I do too, but I feel like this is going to be one of those ones where we're going to like the ride and not like the result.
Well, Newman takes the pin. We already know that.
I know,
I don't,
but
I don't want
I
to see
like
that,
that.
but that's
Well,
and
exactly.
then
That's what I'm saying.
we have Lij versus just five guys. The last match before they lead up to the following night. So yeah. Once again, then fifth match of the evening, IWGP Women's Championship, Mayu Iwatani, Mina Shirakawa. Let's go. I'm excited for this match.
Yes. I can't wait for everyone to see her dance. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So good.
I'm so excited for that match. I want it so badly.
Me too.
Then sixth match, Show got his wish. It's for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. El Desperado versus Show. This is originally just supposed to be a non-title match, but they added the title stipulation.
Can this guy try to take better pictures? He's actually a
No.
good-looking dude, but my goodness. He just look at that. He looks like a blonde Taguchi right there.
Yeah, pretty much.
But Desperado, look at that freaking promo pic. That's freaking awesome.
It is. It actually is pretty dope.
Yeah.
Number 7, never open weight championship. Shota Umino versus Evil. Okay.
If
I'm
we
not
must.
excited. If
Me
if
neither.
if Shota takes the title off of Evil, I'm happy. That's
Mhm.
pretty much it. And
But like
then
the we hopefully we're getting a new title out of that one because Evil vandalized it. But
yeah,
also if he doesn't retain, it's just the Never title has become that meaningless type title that just hippity hop hip hips to people all over the place. And it like where's the value?
it's true. Eighth match of the night. It's Hiroshi Tanahashi and Matt Riddle.
Interesting.
15-minute time limit. That's all Tanahashi needs. This guy shouldn't be going any longer than that. Simple as that. Again, I think it'd be a good match. Riddle will do a lot of doing a lot of work to compensate for Tanahashi's knees, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how this one goes. I have
Yeah,
hope.
and then your main event of the evening for the IWGP
Oh
Global
yeah.
Championship, David Finlay defending against Nick Nemeth. So weird not
I
calling
like
him
that
Dolph
title.
Ziggler. Oh,
It
the title's
is.
gorgeous.
Yeah, that
Nemeth.
title is very, very nice. Very, very
Yeah.
nice.
Again, I think that looks like a really good card.
I agree. I agree. Even the
I
undercard stuff looks pretty interesting, except for Lij and Just Five Guys. We have seen kind of done into the ground a little bit. I am looking forward to seeing a new angle.
yeah. And I got
Is
the
that enough
other
time
night.
to kill?
Yeah, this is the other night. Thank you. Kickoff match again, similar. Just you're checking out the one guy for
Mm,
Tomoaki, or for Katsuya Murashima is the guy you're putting in his place. The other young lion.
yay. He's the
That's pretty
smiley
much
one.
doesn't look very smiley, but okay. Again, some
Look
very
at his
similar
face. He's
kickoff.
smiling with his eyes.
Okay, he looks like he's trying to burn my soul, but okay.
No, that's so.
Opening match on the main card: Oleg, Yo, Makabe, Desperado, and Umino taking on House of Torture. Again, that'll be fine, I guess. Like, it's there.
House of Torture needs better pictures. Yeah, this one's probably
Okay,
just going to be a
evil,
shenanigan
evil's
match.
evil and Kanemaru's pictures are good because it
Yeah.
kind of those work, but like Yujiro and Sho or Yujiro and Narita just look terrible, and Sho just looks like he's fucking insane.
Hmm.
Second
Very much
match
so.
again. This is the one I was talking about. Tanahashi, Okada, Goto, Hashi, and Ishii taking on Matt Riddle and the United Empire, Jeff Cobb, Henare, Grittocon, and Callum. Or no, it says Callum Newman, but it's supposed to be Akira. I don't know why or is it supposed to be Callum Newman or Akira? I'm not sure. This says Callum Newman, but Akira's in the picture, so I'm pretty sure it's Akira, but I don't
Hmm.
know.
I don't know either because Akira's working through the Fantastica Mania tour.
Yeah, but this is after the Fantastic Mania tour, right? This is after it ends.
I know,
So
but like that's what I'm trying to say is like if he's working the Fantastic Mania tour, I don't know if they'll have him work another tour. Maybe he would.
yeah,
I would like that. I would
yeah,
rather see Akira because this kind of makes me go, oh, who could take the pin? Well, Akira is still taking the pin because he's the smallest person.
it's true. He's a junior out of it all.
He's the only junior out of the other 10 men.
Yeah. Then we have third match: Gorillas of Destiny versus Gorillas of Destiny. Let's go!
Yeah,
Tamatonga's final match.
they made it work. Kia?
Mm-hmm. I like it.
Oh, that's gonna be killer.
I think it's gonna be an absolute banger to watch
Mm-hmm.
watch these two dudes fight their little brother and his friend.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's gonna be fun.
Then we have Nick Nemeth and the Bum of Greatness, Hiroshi Taguchi, taking on David Finlay and Gato.
So they're having their title match first and then this match?
Yeah. Just like Tanahashi
Wow.
and Riddle, just like a bunch of stuff on this, a bunch of undercard stuff today.
Why? You would like aren't
Umino and Evil have their title match on the 23rd. They're coming back with the tag on the 24th. So
why wouldn't we have these matches as lead ups to that? Why would we just start off with the title matches?
because this is also LIJ versus just 5 Guys night tonight on this show too. I don't know. It's backwards, but it's how it's happened. Because this show's
Oh, that's
capping off
just
with
really weird.
this show's capping off with the world title match, and then we got kicking off the LIJ versus just 5 Guys route. Bushi versus Taka. I'm quite excited to watch these two go 1-on-1.
Yes.
And
These guys are
Taka
gonna have a tremendous junior match.
has the 2-1 singles record over Bushi.
Hey. We'll see if Bushi can change those numbers.
Then we get Hiromu. Takahashi versus Doki. Let's go. Doki has yet to
Oh
beat
my
Hiromu.
god. Oh my god. These two are just fire every single time these two get into the ring. You doubted me when I said that too.
I'm ready.
Before
I'm
you'd
ready for
seen it.
this.
I am too. This is gonna be great.
Mm-hmm. Then we got Shingo Takagi versus Taichi.
Oh
You know this will deliver because it delivers every single time we see it.
yes. I want to see something a little different from their last couple of bouts.
Mm.
But like there's some of their signatures that they do on each other, the timing of it is just so good. These guys are great.
I'm excited for this. And
Mhm.
then we have the 8th match: Hair versus Hair. Yuya Uemura versus Yota Tsuji. Who will be bald?
Humor.
I'm praying.
Please don't cut Suchi's hair. Ah, no, please do you, Yomura. Please.
And then your main event of the evening is the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Tetsuya Naito defending against Sanada.
Yes, let's go, Capcom.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be great.
Again, 2 really fun cards. I think the card from the 23rd is the card I'm more interested in than the 24th. But the 24th has some stuff on it that I'm really excited to see, except for the main event. The main event, I'm actually really don't care about, but that's a personal feeling.
I mean, I'm more interested in the hair versus hair match than I am in the world title match, but
Hair versus
that's just
hair,
me.
Bushi versus Taka, Doki versus Hiromu. Those ones are the ones that interest me most out of that card.
Mhm, mhm. It just like I mentioned, it does feel weird that like Nemeth and Finlay are having their title match before the tag match. I would assume that the tag match would happen before the title pop off. So like it seems very weird to me that it's in that order, but is what it is. I'm sure my superiors know what they were doing over there.
Pretty much. But yeah, we've come to the end of another episode of NJPW Puroresu Review. I want to thank y'all for joining us here. We really do appreciate all the great support. If you want to find me, you can find me on the X, Mastodon, Blue Sky, and Hive at That Canada Guy, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at That Canada Dude. You can find me on Facebook at Andre Melball Wrestling Talk. And if you're not watching on our YouTube page, go to youtube.com/at Andre Melball Wrestling Talk. And if you want to hear us in audio form because you don't want to look at my face, I get it. Most people don't want to look at this face. You can check us out over at SundayNightsMainEvent.com or on Patreon. It's patreon.com/SNME Radio. You can go over there, check out them, support them, subscribe to the RSS feed. You can get us and so many other great podcasts covering all the different aspects of professional wrestling, Raw, SmackDown, the Smack Daddy Show. I very highly recommend my boy Brad the Dad over on that show. I love that man. He is awesome. Go check them out. A lot of great content over there. MLW, AEW, everything over there. Highly recommend all the great shows they put out over there at SundayNightsMainEvent.com and patreon.com/SNME Radio. If you want to find me over at our friends on OLE, you can find me doing the MCU Rebound, because we probably won't have our Marvel talk until X-Men comes out. Check us out, twitch.tv/Our Local Establishment and youtube.com/at Our Local Establishment. The Rebound will have already happened because this show will come out on Thursday morning. So check out the Rebound on our YouTube page. The replays are up there. Me and my boy Old Ed reviewing, recapping the third movie in the MCU, Iron Man 2. I love that movie. I guess a lot of hate, but I love that movie. Really, very, very good. And then please go over and support our friends at Backbreaker Video. Mike simulcast all our stuff. You might be watching us there. So if you are, subscribe to the channel. YouTube.com/at Backbreaker Video. If you want to see Mike's live content, go to twitch.tv/Mike the Ref. He has his Wednesday and now Saturday AEW watch alongs. And he's also doing it for pay-per-view. He does it for some pay-per-views too. So check him out over there. If you want replays of his gaming content, he has lots of great gaming content on his channel multiple days a week. Go to youtube.com/at Backbreaker_gaming for the replays of his stuff. PJC's, Rick Jules, and their freaking guests. Kayla J.
Kayla J. I muted myself so I didn't. Late on the Kayla J there.
Yeah.
Kayla J.
Melball, where can they find you?
Yes. If you're wanting to follow a Melball, you can find her on the X thing at Collins Melball. You can find her on everything else: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, and Blue Sky at Melball Collins. You can also find her on Our Local Establishment Programming, Japanese Wrestling Update with this guy over here. We do those on Friday. Sometimes they're live, sometimes they're recorded. It really depends on the news that we need to bring to you and the urgency in which we need to bring it. Where else? You can also find me on Astro Pizarro's YouTube channel, where we do our show, Ladies Wrestling Showcase. We talk about the ladies in professional wrestling and all about the things that are happening involving ladies professional wrestling. We're going to be dropping an episode this Friday, so you want to check to our socials to see when that's going to be coming out. If you're wanting to watch NJPW, we will leave a link in the description box down below. It is njpwworld.com. It is 999 yen, or approximately 10 Canadian. Shout out Sean Spears. But it's actually more like $7.50 this month, which is an even better price to watch some amazing professional wrestling. You can watch what we talked about today. If you don't want to subscribe yet and you want a taste of what NJPW is like, you can check out their February 5th show, which is free for everybody to watch. So go check that out if you feel you need the taster before taking the dive on your $7.50.
Just a taste.
A taste, a tidbit, a timbit.
Timbits. Or donut holes for you Americans.
I'm hungry now. Andre, that being said, do we have anything else to say to the beautiful people?
I just want to say thank you to all the beautiful people joining us on YouTube at SNME Radio. Please, if you're watching on the YouTube's either Backbreaker Video or Andre Melball Wrestling Talk, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below, share us out to all your friends, family, coworkers, enemies, people from the 8th dimension, and all those funny little things. And don't forget to hit the notification bell every time we drop a new video.
Ding dong.
I don't. It might be Girl Guide cookies. Mm.
Yeah.
And if
Get
you're
up there.
and if you're listening on SNME Radio, please like the videos and give some 5-star reviews on your podcast player, whether it's Apple or Google Play. If you hate us, still give us 5 stars, and you can talk shit about us in the comments, but give them 5 stars.
5-star, 5-star, 5-star. Shucky ducky.
Quack quack.
And that being said, I am your man. Over there is Andre. We will see you next time. Adios.